Oh yes, another fine day playing my favorite game, Cyberpunk 2077. There is a fair bit of screaming happening outside of my room, but I honestly don't care. A fine day indeed, ignoring the world's stupid problems. Then I realized that the world's stupid problems eventually will come to you. My cynicism and inactivity doesn't change the fact that the global elite decided to glass the planet. Luckily, my Xbox-shaped refrigerator flew directly into my face at Mach 4, protecting me from the nuclear bombs, but also giving me severe brain damage. Being rendered completely unconscious, it seems that the local gas station crackhead had drugged my body into a strange cave. Being completely disoriented and having extreme brain damage, all I was left with is my love for Cyberpunk 2077 and my underwear. It was at this point the truth was revealed to me. I am Johnny Silverhand. It seems the bodily trauma caused by my refrigerator has warped my face to look exactly like Keanu Reeves. I am a new man, and my mission is clear. Oh yes, conquered, destroyed, the Minutemen ignored. It is time to begin our grand journey. To begin our brave journey in this wonderful, delightful world, as Johnny Aluminum Arm, we must establish a mini night city. So we venture north to the coast to find some nice beachfront property. We start with the classic. We visit Buzz Lightyear, of course, and do the ArcJet Systems mission, encountering dangerous synths that I altered the voice to sound even scarier, which was a bad idea. And of course, putting them in a deep fryer. Once Buzz Lightyear was beautifully crispy, we'd meet outside and he gives me a laser rifle.
Stick some iron in your mouth and pull the trigger.
Shortly after the ArcJet Systems mission, I encounter this dude and also a duplicate of this dude. I gaslight one of them into admitting that he's a synth and he gets blasted.
Hey, I'm on your side. I just need you to tell me the truth. Then maybe I can help.
You're with the Institute? Look, this guy knows I'm a synth. So just help me take care of him, alright? Otherwise, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Just kill this thing and be done with it.
What? No!
Very funny. Then I take a shit, heading towards Diamond City to collect some supplies before we start our great northern expedition. There's this random strange bunker sticking out of the ground with this crackhead outside of it, so I get rid of the crackhead. And turns out it explodes. It just blows up. So, after safely detonating it, you can actually go inside and there's some decent loot. Anyway, that aside, approaching Diamond City, you can actually hit Piper and it stops the dialogue and immediately opens the door, which is very convenient because I honestly don't care what she has to say. I came in for some supplies and some supplies only.
Hey,
You're the new guy, right?
Welcome to Los Buenos Hermanos. My name is Gustavo, but you can call me Gus.
Are you human? Because I will not serve a synth.
No, not human at all.
I knew it! Get away from my stall, you synth! We don't serve you things here!
Myrna.
I said we don't serve your kind here, you synth. Trying to tell me you're human now?
No, I'm Jangles, the moon monkey.
That's just what a synth would do. Ducking the question. We don't serve your kind here.
Only after purchasing some ammo and some medical supplies, I realized that all the residents of Diamond City are schizophrenic and socially inept, much like the United States. This was great encouragement to leave and get back on the road. On the road, I encountered a guy that paid me to go swimming inside of a quarry.
Bubbles.
Best 5 minutes of my life. Oh yes, the mineral water is quite good for my skin. Back on the road, we start heading north, and after some time, we encounter General Feedback Loop.
Return to your homes and await further instruction. Halt! Civilian! A mandatory curfew is in effect. Return to your home immediately.
Get out of my way.
Under the terms of the Martial Law Act, Section 12.J, those refusing to comply with a curfew order are to be pacified. Repeat, will you comply?
Will you comply?
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 Civic malfeasance detected.
He is definitely in my top 10 list of funny robots. Johnny Aluminum Arm is just a socially inept, out-of-shape teenager that somehow woke up wearing a Johnny Silverhand costume. He is not very strong nor very knowledgeable with firearm skills. I realized a little too late that the northeast part of the map is actually very difficult and features a lot of high-leveled characters and monsters. I found myself often just straight up running away from about 57 Mirelurks and or Raiders and or Deathclaws, or hiding on top of cars just out of reach like a Looney Tunes episode. But since I was already here, I decided to go to the nearest settlement, which was Coastal Cottage. I know it's not a good settlement, but maybe a little thought in the back of my mind that I could make this a home. I could make this a nice little cyberpunk mini town. This could be super cool. No, this settlement sucks. It's the worst one. Don't even bother. After being immensely disappointed, I decided to go back onto the road. We continue down the coast looking only for the finest real estate. Unintentionally, I run into the Museum of Witchcraft. I don't exactly remember what goes on here, but I can tell you that it is not good. Going inside, I immediately regret it. But there's no backing down. We're Johnny Silverhand after all. It went about as you could imagine. I am a very underpowered teenager versus a very overpowered Deathclaw. My attempts at juking didn't work very well, so I had to resort to cheesing. After that little tangent, we continued down the coastline and encountered some Christians. We encountered radioactive Christianity. Kingsport Lighthouse is a pretty nice settlement, but not exactly what I'm looking for, so we continue on. At this point, I'm running extremely low on ammunition because everyone inside of Diamond City was schizophrenic and refused to sell me anything, so I was going off of 5 bullets. Once we were done rejecting the Lord and Savior Adam, we continued down south and we encountered Longneck Lukowski's meat packaging plant, also Also, I don't remember what goes on here, but I can tell you it is also not good like anything else on this coast. Aside from being absolutely disgusting and the guy also being schizophrenic.
If there's something wrong with it, it's your own damn fault.
Oh, so now it's my fault? Forget it, the deal's off. You want to sell your product to the people out there? Then you can get out there and do it your damn self.
What? Hey, come on.
So I can have a look around.
Boy, you are persistent. You're welcome to have a look. But stay out of the old basement. It isn't safe down there.
We do exactly the opposite of what he tells us and we go down the service elevator. We find out that he's using ghoul meat and various other bad things inside his canning, and he decides to kill us. This part was extremely difficult because 1, I was underleveled, and 2, the ghouls were overleveled, and 3, I had no ammunition, so I had to resort to Looney Tunes style fighting in order to survive. I seriously had to use some very strange tactics to make this work. When we encountered this business, it enraged Johnny Silverhand. This was the predominant canning business in the Commonwealth. This was overly capitalist and oppressive. This was corporate colonialism. His business must be destroyed. After successfully destroying corporate colonialism, we pressed on. Back on the road, we pushed further south and we encountered this settlement. This was a nice estate. It already had some settlers in it and we were required to do a quest, but that was no issue.
No more games! Time to die! Let's get some
Just kidding, it was an issue. I go back and get my Bingle suit, also known as power armor, and I fix it up and use this instead because it's a giant crutch. It made the whole process a lot easier and we got the quest done, and now we were able to build here. It was time for us to establish mini Night City and get some infrastructure down. Necessities to make everything a little bit easier and a place to store all my shit.
I'm coming after you.
After laying down some of the basics, it was time to put some theming down, of course. Some nice coastal theming, because what looks more cyberpunky than palm trees? Now, there's a great little mod that adds beach decorations, but in order to actually unlock them, I have to go to Fallon's Mall. I went back to Diamond City, and nobody had anything refreshed, so I was left to my fusion cells, and this explosive rifle I found. It was difficult getting to the mall, and it was also difficult pushing through the mall, but I still managed, and we picked up the magazine that unlocks the decorations. Oh, time to get a little beachy. It's starting to slowly come together. It's not looking half bad. With the HQ established, I went ahead and gave myself some much needed upgrades, and it was now time to start the main quest because I haven't touched it at all. Of course, it's time to go to Night City to go get Nicky Boy. Oh, es tut mir leid. I meant Diamond City, not Night City. So I modded the 10mm pistol to look like the Malorian arms that Johnny Silverhand was using in the game Cyberpunk 2077 for my Fallout 4 Cyberpunk 2077 video. Now, I had this slight burning sensation at the back of my mind, like, hey, I'm missing something. Maybe I should check the Fallout 4 Nexus. Turns out that yesterday somebody put up an actual Malorian arms mod, like the legit model. That's what the burning feeling was. Would have been nice to start the video with that, but you know, I'm glad I caught it halfway through, so that's something. Anyway, I make it to Diamond City, I hate this place, and we talk to this mopey lady and get the quest for Nick. I decided to go pick up Kate from the combat zone because it's right next to the subway system that I need to get Nick. So logistically, that just works better. We go ahead, clear out the raiders, talk to Kate.
She's clearly talented.
Come, bitch.
Pick her up as a companion, and then we make our way to the subway system. We blast all the Mafia LARPers, using Kate as a much-needed meat shield. We push into the vault, doing pretty much the same thing, and finally get to Nick's chambers.
Want a snack? Keep
talking, meathead. Haha, my knight in shining armor.
Go ahead and pick him up and bring him out. We run into Skinny Malone. I call him fat and stupid and blow all of them up. Kate thinks it's hilarious, and then we leave.
You're fat, you're ugly, and it's time you and your crazy bitch said goodbye.
Boom! We rescued Nicky Boy. Now we can get going with the main quest. We do a quick interview.
We're looking for my son.
We steal a key to some dude's house. We steal absolutely everything from this dude's house.
What? The great clockwork dick is stumped?
It's synth detective, jackass.
And then we entrust my son's life to my dumb dog. Just kidding, I love this guy. Except for when he gets in doorways. We make it to Fort Häagen-Dazs. Pushing through this dungeon, it looks like a new installment of the Terminator franchise. And sounds like it too. Essentially being a junk vacuum, I push through Kellogg's little dungeon and then we get to his bedroom. It is once again revealed that the whole time he is a box of cereal. I don't really feel like talking to him, so I just launch a mini nuke at him, rip some stuff out of his skull, and then we head back to Diamond City to talk to Nicky Boy. Unfortunately, we have to go to Good Neighbor to go to this crack den. Once we get inside the crack den, we meet this weird doctor who wants to put us into Makoshi.
Could you say that like Dr. Frankenstein?
Ego, fetch me the brain.
No?
No.
The usual, we go in, get the memories, get out. Nick has a schizophrenic breakdown afterwards, you know, the classic.
Nick.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. That was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
You want to try for round 2? Let's go.
What? What are you talking about?
Wait. Were you just playing a joke on me?
That's for you to wonder, and for me and Kellogg's memories to know for sure.
Now we're off to the glowing sea, which for some reason looks like Skyrim. We talk to the radioactive Christians, get his location, and we go into Shrek's cave. Once Shrek gives us some information, we're off to Green Tech Genetics. You know, the usual main story stuff.
Come here. I'm here to pick up an order. 2 large pepperoni and a calzone.
I was just getting warmed up. Help me.
After picking up our calzone, it was time to go back to the memory den and share our experiences with the crazy doctor again. Stepping outside, you could definitely tell there was a Windows update between recording sessions after getting the next stage in the quest line.
In my secret club, the code phrase is just 2 words. Awesome
from me.
We reached max affinity with Kate, who is a level 10 crackhead, addicted to many substances. She informs me of this vault that was made just for crackheads, and there's a curing machine in there. She wants us to help her with her addiction. I try to offer her something called a dick doll, but apparently that is too easy. That would be too simple of a solution. I can use the experience anyway, so let's go ahead and do the companion quest. We head over to the vault, which is full of gunners, a lot of high-level gunners. It was moderately difficult, but still pretty good fight. The vault was desiccated but had a pretty good amount of salvage in it. We make our way deeper into the vault and we find the detox chamber. I tell her to shut the fuck up and lock her into the chair and then flip the switch. And then boom, she died. I'm just kidding. Nah, she's cured now. Again, why she couldn't take a dick doll, I'm not sure, but she's cured. I realize this game takes place in the United States, and much like real American women, once you're not useful anymore, they just leave. I'm not sure where Kate went. Maybe she'll return someday? Or maybe not. Who knows? At least I have my dog. Anyway, we have a Corsair chip that needs to get decoded. We go ahead and make our way to Old North Church, where the railroad is, because they're the only ones that can decode it. I don't know, the Brotherhood might, but this is just easier. I give them a little visit. Once the trash was taken out, I decoded it myself, and then we headed over to Sanctuary to try to get the Minutemen to build my crackhead machine. I had ignored them, so they didn't really want to help me till I helped the settlement, so I did some miscellaneous Minuteman stuff, and then started building the teleporter. Turns out, the game lets you build multiple teleporter platforms, but you cannot scrap them, only store them. The game requires you to build all the parts for each of the platforms, regardless if they're in the settlement inventory or not, which basically soft-locked me from building the teleporter and soft-locked me from getting anywhere further in the main story. So I had to load a save, and that's where I ended my recording session. Here we are a few days later, and we got the teleporter built. Same business as usual. We teleport into the Institute. You meet your crackhead father, who is an absolute dick. I don't instantly kill him because I need to get the serum for Virgil. It's good XP.
I could kill you. Right here. Right now.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
All we're missing are the teacups and the white rabbit.
Ah, levity. Excellent.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out.
All the other departments.
You going soft? My methods get results, and it will this time as well.
Hi, Doc.
So, here you are.
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success.
Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
I was going for an Arasaka look with my modding, and I think it turned out beautifully. We do everything necessary to progress the quest line, and of course we go ahead and get Virgil's serum. IRL, the time is currently 4 in the morning. As I'm walking the dark metal corridors of the Institute, I decide to pop into the robotic synth production room. The sight of cold machines manufacturing human beings as two scientists debate whether they're sentient or not made me think about the existence and tenacity of the human soul. Is sentience, or the perception of free will, simply a coping mechanism used by our brains to prevent us from ending ourselves for when we get smart enough to understand the concept of death and the possibility of no afterlife? Are human minds simply a complex schematic that can be copied and manufactured, like a computer chip, and then put into an analog, animated only by neurotransmitters puppeteered by corporeal desires? Or are we something more? Is there more to us? Why am I asking these questions? Is that a sign of sentience? Is the soul really capable of transcending death? Is it the immortal accumulation of your ancestors' knowledge and memories, engraved into the magnetic resonance of your DNA, driven by the magnetic flux of the very universe, like the most perfect solid-state drive? Is this something individually experienced, or is it shared amongst all of your own people? You know what? The Institute gave me an existential crisis. That doesn't feel very good. Johnny Silverhand decided to blow up the Institute Arasaka Tower style. Oh, and something else I forgot to mention. I built the scamming center. Take a look at this. I have highly trained, degree-holding settlers calling random people in the Commonwealth, offering only the best deals on insurance and computer virus removal. The caps flow beautifully. If only we actually put this effort into something actually helpful, but then again, the caps flow beautifully. Oh, I got sidetracked again. Oh, anyway, Libertalia. Why did I complete the Libertalia quest? Well, I figured I'd get a little bonus XP, but ultimately I'm going to blow up the Institute just like Arasaka Tower. At this point, I'm going to start doing some Brotherhood stuff and some Minuteman stuff. I'm going to go for the Minuteman ending, but I'm also going to keep the Brotherhood of Steel around. We're going to work on the Institute, and if needed, we'll get rid of the Brotherhood. Great, fantastic. Now we have a game plan ready. So we go ahead and we do some work for the Brotherhood, you know, the usual stuff.
Are you ready for your medical exam?
Petroleum jelly and rubber gloves?
The crotch.
Fort Strong, some miscellaneous fetch quests, the usual. And at the same time, we build up the Minutemen a little more. And then we take the castle. We fight off Godzilla, and we build up some artillery and some basics here. We already are established at our little night city, so no need to build this up too much. This part of the video is going to go quite fast, so there's no need to really do these quests in detail. You're not missing a whole lot. As we build the two factions up, I decide to acquire more and heavier armaments. Beautiful. And here's the quest Mass Fusion. At this point, when we hop on the vertebrate, we become enemies with the Institute. We didn't tell them we're working with anybody, but they apparently know. Along with the Brotherhood, we go ahead and push into the mass fusion building, acquire the nuclear reactor part they need for their giant robot, which we aren't going to use because it's stupid. Instead, we build up enough of an army with the Minutemen and we push in using this.
It's past time for the Institute to pay for what they've done to the Commonwealth. The Institute didn't leave us any choice. It's us or them now.
Now it's time to blow up Arasaka Tower.
About time we took the fight to the Institute.
Yes? You tell yourself that. Now go. Leave me.
There it is, the biggest corporation defeated. Corporate colonialism snuffed out, going out with a big bang just as Arasaka Tower did.
Holy shit. That was one hell of a bang, wasn't it? So that's it. The Institute is destroyed. It's finally over. You did issue the evacuation order, right? I didn't notice in all the chaos.
Yeah. We gave everyone a chance to get out.
Good. I thought so. It was just watching that explosion. I just hope as many people as possible got out. I hate that we had to do that. But they left us no choice. It was war. But now, the war against the Institute is over. The way is now clear for the Commonwealth to finally come together and build something good for the future. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows from here on out.
What, no sunshine and rainbows? Next you're gonna tell me I'm not getting a pony.
If I had any ponies to hand out, you'd be first on my list.
Your thoughts?
I guess that's the end of that. No more Institute holding the Commonwealth hostage. Hell of a job you did there. Hell of a job.
Oh yes, feeling immense and immaculate self-satisfaction, Johnny Aluminum Arm rides off into the sunset full of fancy lad snack cakes, his eyes set on a vacation spot. Stay tuned for episode 2, where Johnny's carnage continues, as we continue to liberate the greater Commonwealth from corporate colonialism.